Woo! What's going on, guys? Owners Forum coming at you guys today with another video. And today's video talking Detroit Lions training camp still, day 8. This was yesterday. Trying to catch up with you guys for that info. Like I said, I had a pretty busy weekend and I couldn't get some videos down. I missed a couple days and then it ended up turning into yesterday. I just couldn't get it done. So catching up, and I got some info for you guys. Guys from Eric Schlitt, John Macaron, Tim Twentyman, Mike O'Hara, Jeremy Reisman, Jeff Risden, you know, the usual suspects, putting out the info, putting out that Lions info so I can get it out to you guys, man. Kudos to those guys. So J-Mo was back, intensity levels were back up, pads were back on, there was some things going on. You know, there was some non-team activities, O-line, running backs versus the D-line, and run drills. We had pass catchers versus the DBs and pass drills, obviously. One-on-one tackling drills and special teamwork were the main focus going on day 8 on that Monday. There were some drops. There was some not a very strong passing attack. Run game was improving, though, it looked like. A lot of trash talking, skirmishes, some fighting going on. The defense getting production. That was going on. That was on the ticket during Monday's practice. So lots of things going on Monday, guys. The attendance and injury. Marvin Jones back, removed from the NFI list. He's back. He wants to help out the team in any way possible. He was quoted on third downs, moving the chains, red zone looks. You know, he knows his role. You know, he's a savvy vet. He's 32, 33 years old. He knows he's on his last legs. He's still productive. Not like he used to be, but you know, he's trying to do anything possible to come back to Detroit and make a little bit of noise. If it's to get some limited time, if it's to mentor, all the above for Marvin Jones, and we welcome him back. It's good to get him back on the field. He was a full participant. J-Mo, Jameson Williams, full participant too, full practice. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, full practice too as well. Houston was limited in reps, so there seems to be a lingering injury going on with him. They haven't quite really talked about it, but from the beat reporters, from the guys putting all this out there seems to be some type of injury out there. They just don't really know what it is per se, but it's something, and it's something probably lower body. He did slip on the grass a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, whatever it was, going up on a one-on-one. I forget who he was going up against, Ifedi maybe or something like that, but he did slip on the grass, and he got beat in the drill. So slipping, maybe it was either, hopefully it's not a groin, maybe it's a hammy, you know, and they're just trying to keep an eye on it. But at least he's practicing, and it's limited, so it can't be that serious if he's out there practicing, right? So, and then they had some bad news, the Detroit Lions. They lost tight end Shane Zylstra. It looks like it's for the year. 6 months injury. He took a leg shot from a cornerback, Khalil Dorsey. We went low on him, you know, no cart, walked off with support, walked on his own a little bit too as well, but mainly with support. So it looks like it's a 6 months injury. So we're looking at January. He could settle for an injury settlement, put him on IR, however they want to do this. I'm not really too sure what they're going to do, but I think they got to run some more tests, but it looks like he's done for the year. And he was fighting for that tight end 3 spot. You know, we got Laporta and Brock Wright as the 1 and 2, whatever they're going to do there. And then Zylstra was kind of fighting with James Mitchell for that spot. So, you know, they could be possibly picking up another tight end down the road. Derek Deese will get Derek Deese Jr., the UDFA that we picked up last year, will get an uptick in reps now too as well. And maybe they'll go look for somebody in the waiver wire. Who knows right now? But they got to make a decision on Zylstra if what are they going to do with him. But it looks like he's done for the year. So, you know, bad news for Zylstra. You know, Dorsey going low. He felt bad for it. It was kind of a stir of the moment thing. Some of the offensive players taking exception to him going low too. So maybe another little fight in training camp, which happens all the time, by the way. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, you know, but Dorsey felt bad about it. Heat of the moment happens. And then tight end Sam Laporta, he was also not seen leaving the field, but he kind of snuck away. So nobody really knows what's going on. Is he hurt? Keep an eye and ear out for that. I'll try my best to keep an eye and ear out for that too as well. But there is no practice tomorrow on Tuesday. Or I mean today there is no practice today, Tuesday. So yeah, like I'm a day behind, guys. So yeah, so there's no practice today. We'll get more on that on tomorrow's day 9. So hopefully it's nothing too serious with Laporta, but he wasn't even seen back on the field. So he was probably getting attended to. Maybe he may just tweak something, pulled something. Hopefully it's not too serious because we need Sam Laporta on this offense. And then Jameson Williams was back, man. There was some good and there was some bad going on with Jameson Williams. I think a lot of it overblown. And I'm not even mad at the media for it. I personally think it's this fan base that takes it to another level. And I'll explain why. But he did have some drops. He had 2 to 4 drops. I've seen a couple reports where he had 2 for sure. There's another reporter out there that said he saw him drop 4. 2 in open space, 2 when he was covered. So 2 when nobody was on him, and then 2 when an actual defender was on him. But that was just one guy, and I'm not going to drop that guy's name, but he did say it. He said he witnessed 4 drops. So everywhere else I've seen 2, a couple drops, and even St. Brown, even Amon-Ra, the Sun God, he had 2 drops as well too. So the wide receivers didn't have the greatest day. A couple guys stood out, like Josh Reynolds has just been consistent, but it happens. You drop balls. He also got into a dust-up with rookie undrafted free agent cornerback Starling Thomas. Starling Thomas, this is his second fight in camp already. He got into it with Ifedi earlier, like last week. He's a fiery dude, man, this Starling Thomas kid. And he was up against Ĵamo. It was an incomplete pass. He started celebrating in Jamo's face. Ĵamo took a swipe at him. And then that kind of stuff happens all the time. You go to 32 teams in the NFL, you're going to see a fight probably every day. There's going to be a skirmish. There's going to be a tussle. There's going to be something going on. There's going to be a wrestling match going on. As long as it doesn't turn into an all-out brawl, well, people are swinging helmets, people are getting hurt, then it's a whole different story. But training camp fights happen all the time. And these journalists, they're just putting it out there. They're just reporting it. And I think this fan base is taking it to another level. I really do. I almost want to do a separate video on this. Maybe I will eventually. But take it easy. It's a camp fight. It's a camp fight that happens yearly. St. Brown got in one last year. There's multiple fights that happen. And it's going to happen on 32 teams. So don't make it seem like, oh, Jameson Williams is this malcontent, is this diva that doesn't want to be guarded, who can't handle the pressure. He got into this little dust up. He had those drops early, and then apparently he sharpened up later on. There's video out there on Twitter where he runs a gorgeous route against Cameron Sutton, corner of the end zone, toe tapping touchdown. Beautiful route by Jameson and a beautiful catch. And then he had another catch back of the end zone. There's no video, but there's reports of it that where he sprawls out and catches a touchdown in the back of the end zone, lays himself out for 6. So this kid is talented as hell, and I think that his fan base, they're a little bit too heavy on him, man. They're a little bit too, like, I know he hasn't done anything. Last year he probably shouldn't have even dressed. I know we all wanted to see him come. We all thought, man, this guy's gonna explode on the scene. It didn't happen like that. He didn't get the physical reps last year in practice. He got mental reps. He finally was able to practice late in the season, and the chemistry just wasn't there with Goff. The physical chemistry just was not there. And then he's looking a lot better than he has lately. He's had a couple drops, but he's also played out of his mind in some practices, making great catches, good routes, good reads, showing hands. But he's had an up and down camp. He really has, So, but I think this fan base is too much at times, and it just seems like they want more, and I get it. But not everything, man. You see the overreaction from people that this guy's a diva, this guy doesn't want to be here, this guy's just a problem. It's a camp fight. If you don't know what that is, then you don't know football. Okay, you just don't, and you shouldn't be talking about it if you don't know what a camp fight is, because they happen daily almost. It almost happens daily. You go to all 32 teams, like I said, you'll see a fight. You're going to see a fight. Travis Kelce's just punched one of his guys in the back of the head twice the other day. Travis Kelce caught a touchdown. Defender tried to smack the ball out of his hand after he caught it, and Kelce threw a punch. It just happens. They just do that, man. These guys are heated. These guys are full of testosterone, man. It just happens. So stop blowing everything out of proportion, man. Stop blowing it all out of proportion about this kid. He's having good days. He's had a couple bad days. He's had a couple, it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. But people don't want to really talk about the two amazing touchdowns he had. Just it's odd to me. This fan base is odd, and the reporters are just doing their job. So it's not like some people are coming at the reporters saying they're just focusing on the negative. It's just a report. St. Brown had 2 drops. You report it. Jameson Williams had 2 drops. You report it. It's getting a little bit out of control. And then speaking on Ĵamo, still he had a great block too on Will Harris. Jahmyr Gibbs took the ball kind of on the outside. He already had a nice gain. Will Harris had a beat on him, and there's video of it on Twitter. Again, go to Twitter if you want to see some of this stuff. Williams comes up and just lays a solid block on him. Doesn't knock him on his butt or anything like that, but knocks him back to where Gibbs can even have more room and explodes to the outside of the sidelines and has like another 25 plus yard gain. So he already had the nice gain. The block sprung him even farther. So Williams is out there, man. He's doing his thing. And then 7-on-7 too. He dusted C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's the touchdown in the back of the end zone, where it was a touchdown from Goff. It was a nice pass. It was a great route, and he actually beat C.J. Gardner-Johnson I think twice. But the one was from Sudfeld. Don't know what happened. It was either a bad throw or a bad route by Jameson Williams. Don't know, but all I know is that he beat C.J. Gardner-Johnson twice. One resulted in a touchdown, one resulted in an incompletion. So, he's doing work out there. Jameson's doing work out there. Then Dylan Drummond, he's making some noise as well. The undrafted free agent, he's getting better. He's getting second team looks, something that you want to hear. He's been with the number 3s for majority of camp, but now he's getting some second team looks. Multiple passes he caught over the middle from Sudfeld and Martinez, and he even beat Walker on a one-on-one drill too. So I think this guy could probably end up being a practice squad player, a developing wide receiver. So we're seeing good things from Dylan Drummond. Then the running backs probably had their best day at camp on day 8. Gibbs showing lots of patience. Lateral quickness is off the chain. His acceleration, the quickness, the vision, the aggressiveness, it's all there. It's what we want to see from our number 12 overall pick. Montgomery finding yardage between the tackles, putting his head down, getting those tough yards. He runs through arm tackles. So don't try to tackle this guy head up. He's one of the best at breaking tackles in the NFL. He had a really high missed tackle rate, like I said, last year. It was number 1 in the league, tied with Nick Chubb's. So you can't tackle him with your arms. He's a load. He's 225 pounds. So you're not tackling him just with an arm tackle. And then the RB3, that seemed to be a little bit of a battle. Campbell did kind of saying, last week or a week before, whatever it was, that Justin Jackson kind of has a lead on that right now. But there's Jackson, there's Craig Reynolds, and there's Jamar Jefferson, all in contention right now. Jackson looking smooth, catching the ball, cutting the ball upfield. Reynolds and Jefferson running hard too, getting gains like 5 to 7 yards, man, making it look good. And then each scoring a touchdown in red zone drills as well too. So that RB3 is in contention, and then you got the fan favorite running back UDFA Muhammad Ibrahim. He's repping with the third team right now. He's getting some looks, but he seems to be that kind of guy that's out of favor right now. So could he be a practice squad guy down the road? What's going to happen is he going to make RB4? They do like Cabinda, so maybe they keep 5 running backs. Who knows what's going on right there? And then Aiden Hutchinson, the number 2 overall pick, he's continuing his domination of camp. Sewell was out, so he was going up against Matt Nelson a little bit. He just beat him. It's not. He's making easy work of it. He's beating tight ends. If you want to put a tight end on him, he looks a lot better in year 2 already, man. He looks faster, stronger, a little bit bigger, especially in his legs. His legs look massive than they were last year. So I don't know what his weight's at. I think he looks a little heavier, to tell you the truth. He was 265 last year. I think he looks 270 plus, maybe 272. He's not crazy, but you can notice a little bit in his neck. You can notice it in his shoulders, especially his legs. He looks a little bit heavier, and he hasn't lost his step. So he's not gonna. He's a kid, but some guys can't carry weight well. It looks like he put on a little bit of weight, just from a visual. I don't even know. Maybe he's the same. Maybe he's lost weight, but he just looks bigger. So he's stacking up the sacks and he's stacking up the TFLs, the tackles for loss. You love that. And he's setting the edge like a veteran. So sets the edge up and then he comes off those blocks and makes a play. So he just looks like a different. He's like a different player, man. And then I can't wait for the season to start with him. Got that number 97 on right now. And then Brian Branch showing out too as well. The tackle for losses, the PBUs, the pass breakups. Living in the box and able to drop into coverage. He's doing everything that this coaching staff wants him to do. He sees things others don't. He's just a really smart player. It's going to be really hard to keep him off the field. Now, they got guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson's getting reps over him, kind of like a nickel and safety. So he's kind of like C.J. Gardner-Johnson's kind of mentoring him, it seems like. But they're going to find it next to impossible to keep this kid off the field. They're going to have to find ways to keep both those guys in there, and they already have. They're putting like Branch back in the safety while they keep C.J. Gardner up in the box and on that nickel, and vice versa. Branch back there, and then C.J. Gardner up. So two players that play very similar style. I think I actually think that Gardner Johnson is a little more flashy, a little more of a playmaker, if you will, but they're both very similar players. And then more Gardner Johnson news. Yeah, I just said it. The only man standing in Branch's way for snaps is Gardner Johnson. You know what I mean? I wrote that down, so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But it's a good problem to have, man, because they're very similar players. And Aaron Glenn's going to find ways to get both these guys on the field. You just have to. You can't be sitting these guys a lot. The intensity level is through the roof. For C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he's just a leader out there. He's making plays. He lit up Jahmyr Gibbs. He got into a little bit of a mix-up with Khalif Raymond. See, another training camp kind of skirmish, kind of fighting, getting after each other. So they're mixing things up with Raymond, and then he lit up Gibbs too. Like I said, that's kind of a welcome to the NFL kind of moment for Gibbs. Gibbs in the flat caught a nice ball. He caught a ton of balls, I guess, on Monday. That's what he's going to be doing a lot, I think, in this offense, Jahmyr Gibbs. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson sat on it, waited, he sniffed it out in perfect timing. He lit up Gibbs, dislodged the ball from Gibbs' hands. Don't know if it was a catch, but he timed it perfectly where the ball came, boom, hit him, ball came flying. So it's probably an incomplete pass. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson making plays. He's a vocal leader. He's setting up the defense. 3 pass breakups in the red zone on Monday, one versus St. Brown, Mims, and Zylstra. Zylstra before he went down with that injury. And then Levi Onwuzurike, his update too as well. He did have a nice tackle for loss, shed the block, beat his man, and made a nice TFL. Slowly getting more put into the defense, putting a little more on his plate, man, to see what he can handle. Glenn wants that interior pass rush from him. They asked Aaron Glenn about him, and one of the first things he said was an interior pass rush. So they want him to be able to get into the backfield, beat his guard, beat the center, whoever's on him, make some noise, man. Cause a little chaos, disruption, and then the rest comes after that. But they just want Aaron Glenn too. Kind of wanted him to get strong. He wants him to get a little bit stronger. He knows that he didn't get a lot of weightlifting in. Even though he's a big dude, he looks like Mr. Universe out there. He's really put together, Levi Onwuzurike. But he didn't really get a lot of gym time rehabbing from his back injury. So it's kind of tough to start lifting a lot of weight when you're trying to rehab a back injury. So he wants him to get a little bit stronger, and he's got high hopes for him. So that's good. Then now there was some more observations as well too. Charles Harris, he continues to drop into coverage, and it's getting better. Still needs work though. The comfort level isn't quite there yet, but he is that first Sam linebacker playing. And then Martin, obviously, like I said earlier, he's getting better as well too. He collapsed the running play all by himself on Monday. His power is on full display. He's hard to move. Like even the guys like Ragnow and you're seeing Glasgow, Jonah Jackson, Vaitai. You know they're not able to move him as easy. He's a humongous football player at 6'5", 335, 340 pounds. So and he's getting starter reps right now. Will he be the starter? Who knows? But he's getting better. That's good to hear. And then Chase Lucas, our 7th round pick from last year, he was seen taking snaps at the single high safety. So he's the new utility man. It seems like right now. One of the guys that that is trying to get that versatility up. That's what Brad Holmes loves about his football players. That if they're versatile. And Lucas is trying to be that next Will Harris type of guy, man, that can like play multiple positions. Just let's hope he's a little bit better than Will Harris. And Savion Smith, he had a really nice pass breakup as well too. He's talking a lot this year too, something that he hasn't done really in the past. So he had that scare last year last year or the year before. I think it was last year. I could be a year behind, but he had that scary injury with his neck. You saw his dad running on the field, his uncles. It's pretty scary, and it's good that he's back. And then Derek Barnes, he's flying around the field too as well. Being very noticed by this coaching staff. He's trying to get that linebacker 2 spot locked up. It looks like it's Jack Campbell's right now, but Barnes is kind of right behind him. He did get nicked up a little bit, but stayed on the field in practice. It looked like a lower body injury, but he stayed in practice, so who knows. And then Antoine Green, he had an ankle injury, man. He was seen a little bit later on holding onto his ankle, so he got nicked up again. So we'll probably see him on the injury list tomorrow for practice for day 9. And then special teams, the kicker battle continues. They kicked from 33, 42, 45, 48, and 51 yards. Parker Romo and Riley Patterson both made 405. Romo missed his 51-yarder, and Patterson missed his 45-yarder. So there's a camp battle still going on there. No one has really continued. Like no one has really stood out yet. They're both pretty even right now. Then they did the blocking drills. Kabinda and Jefferson stood out. Like I said earlier, they really like Jason Kabinda, and Jefferson's really, he's starting to get really noticed on special teams. Something he hasn't really done a lot, but it's probably going to be his in to make this team. He is in line for that RB3 spot, but special teams is where he's going to make this football team, in my opinion. And then they got Julian Aquara on the bubble too as well. He looks great in some drills, and then the next drill he fails on an assignment. I think he's a question mark at this point. I picked him as one of my guys that's probably going to get cut. That was a little while ago, and he hasn't really done anything great to stand out. He does have a sack or two though, but he needs to be better. He needs to be more consistent. That's the problem with him. He's not consistent enough. And then Aaron Glenn, he's telling reporters to ease up on the hyper-focusing on who was playing on the 1, 2, and the number 3 team defenses. They're looking to mix things up right now. Glenn is praising Pascal in the process, though, so he's thinking that Pascal is going to be a big part of this defense. But he's like, don't look too much into playing and who's practicing as the 1, 2, and 3 right now, because they're just trying to find chemistry. They're trying to find unity. They're just doing different things right now. So he's saying that the media should just ease up on that, but hey, that's their job. They got to report it. And then the end of the day, this is the last one. The defense did win at the end of the practice. It's called situational football. The Lions offense down 26-20 with 31 seconds to spare in the fourth quarter. Jared Goff got him to the 14-yard line, pretty much only hitting Josh Reynolds though. Trying to get into the end zone. They just incomplete. I think his last 1 or 2 passes into the end zone, they couldn't find a score. So defense wins that one. Then Sudfeld came on there. No results from him. He got sacked on a 4th and 5 by Aleem McNeil and Joshua Pascal. So they both got to him at the same time. They credited each with half a sack, it seemed like. So that was it, man. The defense stood out a little bit on this day. Offense, making some plays, but not as good. Running game kind of coming through. Defense looking better and better though. This is where the offense usually shines, and the defense is playing a lot better as of right now. And they're going up against one of the top offenses in the NFL. Like people can just say it's just training camp. It's only practice. Hey man, these guys got pads on. They're trying to win spots, and this defense is starting to play a little bit better. So it's just more than just training camp. These guys are trying to win jobs, man, and I love it. So, but that's it, guys. This 25-minute video, 25-plus-minute video. I appreciate you guys coming in and listening to me talk about our Detroit Lions. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get on my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Day 8 wrapped up. Day off today, day 9. There is no day 9. Day 9 will be tomorrow, Wednesday. So day off. So there'll probably be nothing reported. And my shifts, we're getting these videos out. Probably going to be a later video, as I won't be around. So I'm hoping to get it out at least to you by tomorrow late though, like late. I'm talking after midnight. So into the Thursday morning. If not, I'll have it for you Thursday and then the rest. So when I'm on afternoons, it's different. I can't get the video out because I don't got the information. I'm only getting little bits and pieces of info when I'm on noons, and then I get the full gist of it when I'm back home, and I'm be able to look through and do my reports. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Go Lions, one pride. Boom. Let's go, baby.